This week marks the start of serious holiday cooking. And it turns out Ann Romney has written a beautiful new cookbook called The Romney Family Table, with lots of helpful tips about how to bring your family together. Here's our Power Player of the Week. Mrs. Romney, does your family have any traditions when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner?
Like most Americans, we look forward to Thanksgiving pie, pecan, apple, pumpkin, those pies. I will say, Chris, that, you know, with the traditions, it takes a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. But the one thing I like to do in my book is remind people that no matter how well you plan, there's always a disaster. And, you know, there's always someone crying and there's always frustration. And so you just roll with it and you just have as much fun as you can as you're going along with it.
The book is called The Romney Family Table. You say home is where good things happen, and the heart of the home is the kitchen.
I don't think there's anything more fun in the world than having them all under one roof. It's the heart. It is where the love comes from, and it's where good things and good conversation happen, where warm feelings, all those associations we make with home and hearth. And, you know, it's interesting. Through life, we all celebrate things through the kitchen and through eating.
You collect family recipes, and you say that when each of your boys married, you would give each of your new daughters-in-law a copy of the family recipes, an informal cookbook, if you will. Is that where the idea for this book came from?
Yeah, and I thought, you know, how easy, because I've already sort of got the recipes put together, and how easy would it be? But it, obviously, as you know, because your wife has done it, how much work it is to actually put a publishable cookbook together. But it developed into something much more than just recipes. It was storytelling, and it was how you raise children, and some successes, some failures with raising kids. But the most important ingredient for all of it is love.
You talk about how you used to cook with your grandmother, and your grandmother with her hands on top of yours helping to roll out the dough, and how loved you felt. Is that what cooking brings to you? That
really is those associations, those good feelings of being loved, of being cherished, of being safe. Go ahead, dump it in. And all of those things we can have by having a wonderful home life and a wonderful place where we share that love. And it's just important to remember to establish those traditions.
You and your husband suffered a crushing political defeat just about a year ago. Was writing this book, in a sense, therapy, getting as far away from that as you could?
Well, it is about as far away from politics, cooking a cookbook as from politics as it can be. So for me, you know, it was therapeutic in that way.
When we talked last March, you said that you were mostly over it, but not completely. Give us the state of Ann Romney now.
I'm mostly over it, but not completely. I will say that. It's frustrating for me right now to see all that's going on in Washington. It's frustrating for me to see Obamacare being so poorly implemented. I know that my husband is such an extraordinary executive. I think he, along with a lot of other people, warned that this would happen, and this is not something that would go well. And here we are.
And finally, do you have a Thanksgiving message for all of our viewers?
I think it's, again, one of gratitude. And even though it is frustrating what's going on in this country right now, I think we should all be reminded that what politics should be all about is making people's lives better and having a harmonious place and a platform from where we can do that. And I think we have to remember that we are one nation under God, and that we need to, especially at times of Thanksgiving, like at Thanksgiving time, to remember and rejoice in the great blessings that this country has afforded us, and to remember to be civil to one another and to come together and solve problems together.
Mrs. Romney, I know I speak for all of our viewers when I wish you and your husband and the entire Romney family a very happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. All to you too, Chris.
All proceeds from Ann Romney's cookbook will go to fund research into multiple sclerosis. She was diagnosed with MS 15 years ago.